Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 21 of my Athletic Bilbao series for Football Manager 2019. So, today's episode, as you can see, is going to be the live comm against Barcelona, as well as a bit of a fixture review and the transfer review of January. So, as far as the transfers go, we really did nothing of note. We let a lot of players go out on loan, as you can see here. We'll go through them in a second, but we brought no players in. And I couldn't really find anyone. There was a few average Basque players that were transfer listed, but we also have, we have squad issues at the moment with the 25 maximum players for La Liga, so I didn't really want to bring in anyone of average quality that is over the age of 20 that can't be registered. It just makes absolutely no sense. And will more than likely be a waste of money, so we decided against doing that. But as I mentioned, we let a lot of players go out on loan. Ruben Plano went to Burgos, who are one of our affiliated teams. As you can see, he's developing quite nicely. The tactic we're playing at the moment also doesn't use any wingers, so that was kind of the focus behind getting him out. Same thing for Anwar Diakite. Of course, he was brought in this season just as kind of a play with a little bit of potential, nothing too serious. The striker position, we've got a lot of decent prospects in, but he also went out on loan to Burgos CF. We then let Alberto Gonzalez go on loan to Cordoba, which I believe is a pretty good loan move for him, and he's starting to look like he could possibly feature for the first team a little bit, maybe in the cup games next season. We'll see what happens with him, but as you can see, he's progressing really nicely. He's got really good physicals at the moment, and of course, he's got some decent mental attributes as well for an 18-year-old in the striking position. So, yeah, he's definitely one to look at for next season, I think, once he finishes his loan at Cordoba. They are currently in the second division. Oh, they're in the first division. Yeah, interesting. Okay. That's a very, very good loan move for him then, and he must be playing games. So I believe it was first team. I don't really accept anything except for either first team or key player when it comes to loans. I think if they're not getting that sort of first team football in the division and at a club that has decent facilities, I think it's much better just keeping them in their youth team or in the B team if they're too old for that. But yeah, we also let Baronetsia. We'll go with that. Christian Baronetsia. He went out on loan to Ontignet, who are a third-tier club. They have average facilities, so yeah, not the best in the world. But I mean, he's not really the best prospect in the world either. To be fair, I believe he was only 2.5 star. Yeah, he's only 2-star potential now, possibly 3. But I just signed him because he had some decent stats. And it was kind of one of those ones where I may as well just sign him. We'll see what happens. He might develop fairly well. Maybe we'll just let him go soon. Who knows? Anyway, the next loan to leave the club, or loanee to leave the club, was Borja Barbero. He went on loan to Elche. He was the backup goalkeeper, so that did throw in a few problems. But Elche are a pretty good club in terms of their facilities and stuff. They've always been around the second, maybe the first tier, but at the moment they're in the third tier, the second or the Segunda division, which is the third tier. But yeah, they wanted him as a first team player as well, so I thought we may as well get him out on loan. Of course, the backup goalkeeper position isn't really too much of an issue. Of course, if Athami was to get an injury, that would of course put a big spanner in the works there. But yeah, it's a nice little loan move for him. I mean, backup goalkeeper, he's only young still as well, 20 years old. So I think that first team football will help him develop a little bit better. And of course, having a little bit better backup makes a little bit of, it makes a bit of difference if he's ever called upon. The next player was Xavier Moreno. He went out on loan to Alarcon. I don't know. I had really, really high prospects for this guy, but again, we're not playing with wingers, so he's taken a back seat, and yeah, he hasn't progressed as well as some of the other prospects have. His mentals are really low. He's got the good pace and the good technicals, but those mentals, they really let him down. They really do. He's only young, so they will probably go up. But yeah, it's just a bit of a dampener at the moment. I thought they might have progressed a little bit faster. Hopefully, going out on loan. He went out on loan on the 31st, so he hasn't been there for very long. But hopefully that spices things up a bit and will kickstart his progression into a first team player in the future. And the final player we let go out on loan was Miguel. He went out on loan to Toulouse in France. This guy's been causing a lot of issues, to be honest. We brought him in from Rayo Vallecano for 1.1 million. But he's got a 10 million release clause, and a lot of teams, pretty much from the top European leagues, have all been coming in for him. He's very good, don't get me wrong. I was actually thinking about bringing him up next season to compete with Brace and maybe move Guinea into one of the midfield Mazzala positions. But he's just been causing issues. And then this loan offer came in from Toulouse. They're in, obviously, Ligue 1 or Ligue 1 in France. Really good facilities, key player. It was exactly what I wanted. And it gets him away. He's currently unhappy at the club as well, so he won't actually accept a new contract, and his contract runs out at the end of next season. So it's going to be really tricky once this season finishes and how we go into the next season, because the transfer offers will probably come back for him. 10 million release clause. I mean, I would take 10 million for him if clubs were willing to pay that. I think Sevilla, I can't remember if it was Sevilla or Valencia, because they were both in for him, but one of them got up to about 6.5 million, 7 million. I think it was around there somewhere. And I was really tempted to sell because, of course, he wouldn't negotiate contracts. But I did decline that in the hope that he will stay and sign a new contract, hopefully at the start of next season once he returns from this loan. Anyway, let's go into the fixtures now. Of course, we played quite a few recently. If we go up here, as you can see, the previous game was the 2-1 loss to Bayern Munich. Yes. So we followed that up with a 1-0 victory in La Liga against Malaga. Nice little goal there from Inaki Williams. We then absolutely battered Mirandes. Now, the thing with the season, I know I mentioned the previous episode, but I worked out why. It is the World Cup year, or it was the World Cup year. So the World Cup has been played, and I believe it was played in December, which is why we have all these friendly games here, because there was a massive break in the season. We did that. And the Copa del Rey, during World Cup seasons, is only one leg per game, with, of course, extra time and penalties, as opposed to the two legs, the home and away. So, I thought that was really weird. And I kind of worked that out myself, despite, being a little bit confused last episode. 6-0 win over Mirandes in the fourth round. Aketse with a hat-trick. Nunes with a brace, and Catalan also on the score sheet there. We followed that up with a 4-1 victory over Valencia. Aketse again on the score sheet. Guinea, Naki Williams, and Lekue. We then actually managed to beat Bayern Munich 1-0 at home. Again, Aketse is playing really well in the Mazzala position. I was trying to play him as the advanced playmaker in the tactic, but he's just playing so much better as the Mazzala. We then played 5 friendly games against Dortmund, beat them 4-1. Chelsea beat them 1-0. We drew 1-1 with Benfica, beat Leverkusen 2-1, and we also beat Crystal Palace 3-1. We then returned to competitive action against Celta Vigo in the 5th round of the Copa del Rey, and we managed to beat them 3-0. Nunes, once again, I've noticed that our centre-backs are scoring, some of them are scoring quite a few goals. Nunes there with a brace, and Javi Martinez also on the score sheet. We then went to Milan, and we got absolutely battered. 4-0 loss Carrasco, Romagnoli, and Castillo. Yeah. Just a really, really poor performance, and that result knocked us out of the Champions League, but also into 4th place in the group, which I was really disappointed about, because I know I said in the last episode I didn't really want to play Europa League football, but when I thought about it, I thought I really want to win a cup competition. I want to win something. The series is this is our 5th season, I believe, yeah, and we still haven't won a trophy, which is, I mean, it's annoying, but it's also understandable because of the challenge that is, playing only Basque players. But yeah, I mean, the Europa League could be a possibility to win, possibly. I know I've said possibly about 3 times there, but yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit disappointing, but again, it could be somewhat of a blessing in disguise in the league. We then versed Celta Vigo again, and we only managed a 3-2 victory this time, at home, in La Liga. Inaki Williams opened the scoring for us. Then we had Brace and Inigo Martinez also on the score sheet. We then followed that up with another 3-2 victory, this time in the Copa del Rey quarterfinal. Inaki Williams there with a hat-trick, and his final goal, the winning goal of the cup tie, or the cup game, was in the 94th minute. So that was really good not to go to extra time, and a nice little victory there over Rayo Vallecano. We then managed to get a 1-0 victory over Leganes, who have been really good again this season. They've seemed to always be up the top of the table, which is surprising. But yeah, Sunset there with a pretty late goal in the 87th minute got us the win. We then went to Deportivo Alaves and managed to get a 2-0 victory. Excuse me. A 2-0 victory. Munain with a penalty and Brace with a 91st minute goal. As you can see, 3 clean sheets on the bounce, as we also beat Espanyol 2-0 at home. Leque and Munain with a penalty. We then managed to beat Sevilla once again. Somewhat of, we've had a bit of a dominant spell against Sevilla, but they did open the scoring through Kaya before Inaki Williams in the 76th minute got the equaliser, and San Jose in the 82nd got us the win. And in the most recent game I played was the semi-final of the Copa del Rey, and as you can see, we got destroyed in the first half, I'll say that. They scored all 3 goals in the first half, Lukaku with a brace within 6 minutes, and Sane just before half-time. But the second half, we obviously won the second half with Inaki Williams getting a 75th minute goal. But yeah, that first half performance was really, really bad, especially conceding those goals. I did expect them to win, which was probably a little bit silly. And this, of course, wasn't actually a home game. It was a neutral game. I believe that's Atletico Madrid's home stadium. So, well, I guess if you think about it, it's still in Madrid, so it's somewhat of a home game for them. But we were classed as the home team. But yeah, we're out of the cup. I mean, I believe the other tie was really easy. As you can see, Cordoba versus Valencia. I think if we versed either of those 2 teams, we probably would have made it to the final, where we probably would have lost to Real Madrid anyway, but it would have been nice to make a final. It would have been nice to have a nice little standalone episode. But yeah, anyways, that's going to leave us with today's game. We'll go through the lineup today. I'll show you the league table. You probably noticed it before. Before we get into that, we'll go into the league table. As you can see, Real Madrid are currently first with 52 points. We are second with 45. Barcelona are in third, also with 45 points. But we have 3 games in hand on Real Madrid. So they're 7 points ahead of us. If we win all 3 games, of course, we have to win it today against Barcelona for that to happen. But we could be 2 points ahead of them. So the ball's in our court. Barca, this is their 1 game in hand they have over Real. So if we can hand them a loss, I think it would be massive. It would be really, really big in terms of how the league's going to play out this season. But yeah, today's lineup, of course, we're going to go with this same tactic that I've been using recently, the 5-1-3-1. Athami's in goal. Nunes, Garmendia, and Martinez will be our 3 centre-backs. We're going to go with Leque as our right wing-back, Ganea as the left wing-back, despite not really being match fit. We're also going to go in the Lascoigne, who's kind of solidified himself as the defensive mid, deep-lying playmaker. Iturraspe's lost all of his pace. I did try and play San Jose there because he can actually play there. And you think he would be pretty good there. You know, if you look at his stats, we'll have a look at his profile here quickly. He's got good passing, really good defensive stats, obviously. But yeah, he just hasn't seemed to perform too well. He's really getting on now, San Jose as well. Iturraspe, also 33 years old. He's completely lost all of his pace. So yeah, he won't really be playing for us much. Another thing to mention, Anaki, I've been training him as a right wing back. His defensive stats are quite low. But if you look at the flip side to that, his offensive stats and his pace are really, really good. So it might balance itself out a little bit. His defensive, his marking and tackling is also improving, which is good to see as well. But that's just another thing that I thought I should let you know about. Apart from that, there are a couple of players that really probably don't fit the tactic and probably won't ever play while we're using this tactic, and that's obviously Cordoba. He really hasn't played in the last, 2 or 3 seasons anyway. But yeah, unfortunately, Hervias just really doesn't fit anywhere. I could probably retrain him as a Mazzala, but he's 29 years old, and I'm just not too sure that that's really going to matter. Anyways, the midfield today will be Muniain, Aketse, and Sanset as the 3 in the centre. And then, of course, we're going to go with Williams, or Nike Williams, up front. As you can see, Aketse is not really fit for the match. He's 85% conditioning at the moment. A couple of players are quite low, like the QA and Muniain as well. So it's a little bit of a worry, but we're just going to have to go with it. Ganea, like I said, lacking match fitness. Now, we are at home, so I don't... Alright, I'm going to go with that. That's pretty much saying that Barcelona, in terms of recent results, are in third, and we're in first. So let's hopefully take the game out to them, and hopefully we can get a nice little win here today against, title rivals Barcelona. Of course, they did win the league last season. They beat us by quite a few points in the end, but oh my god, I thought that was going to be a screamer. Yeah, quite a few points, but we were in it fairly late into the season. I think the last 5 games was kind of where we threw it away a little bit. Dybala with a free kick, and oh my god, how did that not go in the back of the net? I thought that was going to be a goal for sure, and that's a free kick to us anyway. Yeah, Barcelona, they are dominating us at the moment. We haven't had a shot on target, which is a little bit worrying. Not going to lie. But of course, it's still 0-0, so I might... Alright, we've had our first shot on target as we approach half-time, which is worrying. We need a much better second half. The draw isn't the worst result in the world today, but, in order to try and get in front of Real, that's not going to be ideal, of course. We'll be on, level on points if we do win the other 2 games in hand that we have on them. And we're really not performing very well, and Aketse has also picked up a knock, so we're going to have to take him off. And who do we bring on? That's the question. We can bring Galan on, the youngster, but his conditioning is really low as well. I think we will... We've got Lopez, but Lopez is not match fit at all. I guess we'll just have to do it. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, especially with how consistent Aketse has been recently. Alright, we're 60 minutes in. The stats are fairly even, I guess, but we do have the highlight. Or we had the highlight. Lopez, with a nice little shot there. Wow. Pulls out a pretty good save from their goalkeeper. Ganea. Is that a penalty? I think that might be a penalty. It is. Ganea. Can he slot it away to give us the lead, please? Please, come on. Yes! Sends the keeper the wrong way. And we're 1-0 up. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting that. But I guess we're given a bit of a lifeline with the penalty there. And we go 1-0 up over Barcelona. However, they have a highlight now. Bringing the ball forward. Coutinho. But we managed to nip it out through Nolascoin, who is on a yellow card, which is a bit of a worry as well. Lekue bringing the ball forward, puts a cross in, and ter Stegen gets it. Plucks it out of the air. Huh. They have a Ramos as a centre-back. That's interesting. But no one's shutting the ball down here. Bailey... good save by Fahmy, but they got a corner now as well. Messi with the corner. Headed away. Coutinho. PK. And that's the end of the highlight, so thank God for that. That was a little bit scary, not going to lie. We'll make another sub here just to hopefully wind the game down a little bit. We'll bring Galan on for Munayin. And I'm worried about Nunes on a 6.6. Do I bring him off? Do I? Oh, it's tough. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there for now. And if Nunes concedes a goal, I'm going to be so pissed. But we have a corner. Guinea. Nunes. Williams, get in there! Nunes with the assist. 2-0. And we're in the 91st minute. Come on, boys. Honestly, I was not expecting this performance. We haven't played well either. But we are winning, and we are going to beat Barcelona. As there goes the full-time whistle. Wow. I mean, they dominated possession as, you know, this tactic isn't really focused on possession. It's more focused on creating chances and overloading the central areas while the wing-backs get forward. But what a win there. That's massive. As you can see, we're only 4 points behind now. 4 points behind Real Madrid. Got the 2 games in hand. We're out of the Champions. We've got no European football at the moment. This could be the season, guys. I know I've said that last season. But we're in a really good spot as we're halfway through the season at the moment. I mean, we're out of every other competition except for the league. We're out of the Copa del Rey, out of European football. All we've got is the league, and that's exactly what I'm going to put all my focus into it. I want to win La Liga. I feel like that would be the crowning moment of the series, in my opinion, to be able to topple Real Madrid and Barcelona, of course, especially with how close we came last season. But yeah, what a brilliant result. Ketse's not out for very long either. Yeah, and as you can see, Nunes, somehow man of the match. It was on a 6.6 before that goal. So, yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and apart from that, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas as well. Goodbye, guys.